Good afternoon, Scarlet TV Live. Welcome to today's recap. So it was Monday, started the week off, everything was pretty strong. I would say halfway through the day, some of the indices sold off. Lots of people all of a sudden start getting upset, angry, oh my goodness, how could this happen? And then I think you just need a little bit of a healthy dose of perspective of where we were last week and where we've come from and what went on today. If you take a look real quickly at the SPX, you will see that let's go to the daily chart, and nothing really changed. Just an inside day. This was your pullback last week to retest 1775, and then we had 3 up days, and then today we opened up, went back below Friday's high, but all looks good, perspective-wise. Nothing extreme. We're above the 8-day, just a little extended, so market needed to take a little bit of a break. As far as some of the stocks that we talked about, real quickly, Apple tried to go, and right around that 3 o'clock, it came off the highs, but overall, I still think it looks okay. Would I have liked more power? Yes. It is what it is. I think it's still good. Here was that last little reversal that we talked about when it went below 514.33, came back above it, and now we'll see what happens here. I guess this is going to be the next obstacle to see if Apple could have any power and get through, and that would be closer to 529. So we'll see what happens there. Google had a little bit more power. It broke above this recent area, closing a little bit off the highs, but very powerful move, really nice. This was your earnings gap. Good focus today. I came in long Google, and I actually sold it in the last hour, trying to be cute, probably somewhere about 1,050. And now I thought maybe we'd get a little bit more of a buyback into a rug pull, but it held up pretty well. I'll see if I could get back in some after hours. If not, I'll just avoid it, and then maybe tomorrow, if there's a good setup through this 1,053, I'll try it again. Netflix, not really extending, not really stretching. Unfortunately, when we like to play momentum names, we like to buy high and sell higher, not some random movement. And lately, some of the movement's getting a little random, but as of this one, still trending up, still above this, so I still think you could stay with it if you want to. You go to Amazon. Amazon actually had one of the cleaner moves, and this was the last time it started to go, and then we just held higher, and now we extended above the prior week's range. So that's day 3. If you traded Amazon, that was a little cleaner. As far as the banks, I am down to probably the least amount of bank exposure that I've had since the igniting bar right here. That was your igniting bar on that Jobs Friday. This was your consolidation commitment to it, and now look at this nice move. I'm still long Bank of America and Citigroup, just a lot less than I had last week, or less, whatever the terminology there is. Here is when this ignited. This is when I got back involved in Bank of America, and now look where it is. Really nice move, extended from all the moving averages. So tough to buy up here, but doesn't mean it's a short, doesn't mean it's a run for the hills. It means let it set back up again. So we'll see what happens. Citigroup also had a really nice 3-day move. I started talking about it, I think, a week ago right in here. And then last week it got a little smoother. We now broke above this area. Still looks good, except that it just had a 3-day move. You know what I like to do? I like to buy day 1, add day 2, trim day 3. That's exactly what we just had in Citigroup. Goldman, still out of all the setups, it hasn't really powered through the highs here, but it looks like it's in the game if you're still there. Stock closed off the highs, but still above all the moving averages, moving pretty well. As far as just say some of the 3D names, Triple D, ever since that topping tail on that Monday, hasn't been exactly the same. Here is your ascending channel that broke to the downside, and now it's trying to hold bigger support, and we'll have to see what happens here. Definitely not the same type of stock we had as it was trending. Lots of bears are circling these stories, so I would just keep continuing to take trades there. VJet was the source of that story. It had a decent day today. Close on the highs for people who are talking about it. Here's that lower area, that lower pivot. So it could see this area for a bounce back. So if you did buy back some options today to limit some risk, I would think that 43-ish could happen. Look where it just came from. Again, this was a sell right around 60. If you get out of the way, maybe you tried some back. It's trying to hammer out some support. Today, early on, one of my new positions that I shorted and covered was Facebook. I came in today saying I think Facebook's been showing some relative weakness. Last week, the market ran, and this one did not. Usually, Facebook likes to lead the market like it did for the majority of this move after earnings. So it was a nice short on the 45.70. I took it off the table, but it still looks weak. It's still, closed below this area, and here's your next spot, the 42.54. And the other names there, also Twitter, a bit weaker, trying to break through that lower floor. As an investor, I don't think you've had to rush into this. I've tried to trade it a few times. I traded it once here, and there was no follow through. And now this lower end of this range looked vulnerable, and some guys made some money short. These are your only 2 points of reference, right? Here, and it closed pretty much below it. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it goes below 38.80, it can continue to work its way lower, as I think every single analyst out there has said that they're downgrading it, the valuation's way too high, and we know that it takes time to develop a pattern of consolidation before you put longer term money to work, and right now it's still trying to figure it out. So if you're trading it on small time frames, great. If not, definitely avoid or just keep it on the back burner until we get more data. Zynga actually is acting really well for the little guy. This one is holding higher. I would have thought if some of the social media stocks got weak that it would be hard to hold this, but this is making it pretty easy to hold, considering this was your breakout. This is when last week I talked about it being a good swing trade into next year, maybe to C6. It's now at 450, and if it gets above 455, I think that it could, this $5 could happen by Christmas. So that's looking pretty good. And that's really it. I'll be honest, I'm tired. We were at the Trader Expo this weekend in Vegas, and I was glad to meet a lot of you, so thanks for coming out. It's great to get validation from the community that our services are helping and that people are grateful. If I went to Vegas and people started throwing fruit at me, I probably wouldn't go back. Thank goodness they say, can I shake your hand, or could you please sign my book, or whatnot. And it's just good to see people trying to learn, trying to be educated, putting themselves in a position to win with people that they trust, and companies that they're familiar with, that they also could trade alongside, kind of like our virtual trading floor and some of the products that we put out there. But 12 o'clock last night, 4:45 today, time for Red Dog to get some sleep. Have a great night.
I'm Mark Sperling, Director of Trading with T3 Trading Group and contributor to T3 Live. Do you trade on your own, but you wish you enjoyed the benefits of a large trading floor? With the T3 Live virtual trading floor, we deliver that experience to you on your computer. On the VTF, you can follow the long and short positions of experienced professional traders like myself, Scott Redler, and others, and listen to our live radio stations as we navigate the markets. In addition, you get the added value of a large community of sophisticated and like-minded traders. In my opinion, joining the room will be the best trading decision you will ever make. I would like to invite you to begin your membership with a 7-day free trial. To get started, visit t3live.com and click on the Virtual Trading Floor tab. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you in the VTF.